All right. Well, here we are, the very first day of Long-Term Care Week. My name is Deneen Diamond. I'm the lead for the Center of Excellence for Health. We are very excited to be here today and also to have our very special guest who I'll introduce in just a minute. Just to let you know, teachers, all of the sessions will be recorded and placed on our speaking series for the students to enjoy. And we have sessions every day this week except for tomorrow. So the schedule is on our website and you're more than welcome to check that out. So without further ado, I am going to introduce you to Alexander Gagne is an activity coordinator in a Shannex nursing home in Moncton. The presentation will explore a career as an activity coordinator with a special focus on how activity can help elderly people who are living in a nursing home. And I just spent the last 15 minutes with Alex, and she has just filled in so many gaps and questions for me already. So I'm very happy to say that Alex will be spending the next 20, 30 minutes with us. And Alex, I'm handing it over to you.
Hi, I'm Alexandra Gagne. I'm the activity coordinator at Pavillon Richard at the Shannex in Moncton. So, just to talk a little bit about me, growing up, I always wanted to work with kids. It's not until I did my clinical in college that I figured out I was going to try the other size. Theater around and work with adults. So I tried nursing home and I loved it since then. I started out in 2017 at Pavillon Richard as a PSW at first. And afterwards, they had an opening for activity coordinator and I tried out, got it in, and I've been in this role for over 2 years now and loving it. A little bit of my personal skills is I love to get crafty. I love tinkering with projects. I love a good story, a good book. I like to get some puzzle, do some escape rooms. And
we just have a teacher that's joining us, and I'll just ask that you turn your mic off, please, because we've started. Thank you so much. Go ahead, Alex.
Yeah, and I love with my hobbies, I do love the fact that I get to integrate them with my programs for my residents. I love to be able to seek out what their interests are and be able to figure out how I can integrate my special skills with it. And when I'm not busy with trying a new project or getting crafty, I do like spending time with my family, to the point that my kids don't only have 2 sets of grandparents, they have 64 sets, because my residents love having the kids around and they are just part of our life. A little bit of my career is as an activity coordinator in Shannex. I'm responsible of creating engaging, interesting, and eventful activities for them to spend the day, so they're not bored, they're not just spending the day watching TV. I do love that I'm able to work with not only the residents, but I also get to work with their families, their loved ones, the staff, to make their stay even more enjoyable and even more fun. That would be the biggest positive of my job. that I do get to make an impact with them, because I do feel like a lot of them don't have that many family members. A lot of them don't get to see their family because they're either out of the country or they're out of touch with them, so they are alone. Or some never had kids or don't have any family, so they are alone. So I do love that I get to make an impact in their life. The one thing I would say that is a little bit sad, a little bit on the negative way, is that I am
Sorry,
responsible for
girls, this
64.
is a new computer, and if you can just make sure your mic is off, that would be great. Thank you. Go ahead, Alex.
Okay. Yeah, no, I have 64. I'm responsible for 64 residents, and that's 64 different interests. So it can become challenging to try and get activity that pleases everyone, and all of that. But also, I'm in a level 3 nursing home, so we do have different levels of residents with different levels of being cognitive or physical abilities. So that also add to, it's a little bit harder to figure out the activities that works for everyone. Skills that you need to be an activity coordinator is you need to be organized, you need to multitask, you need to be have compassion, you need to be actively listening, quick thinking, and the biggest thing I would say, creative. I am the only activity coordinator in my building, but on our campus, we do have 3 other activity coordinators, but I don't, we're all responsible to our own building, and so I don't get to work with them. So I mostly work by myself, but I can still work with the help of the nursing staff in the building. So another thing is, career-wise, if you guys are looking for a career with a lot of money, this is not a career that you would be in. You want to be in this career because you are someone that wants to be with, spend time with people. You want to make a difference and all that. So looking back, I wish I would have known how much this job would have paid, but because I did take a pay decrease with when I changed job, but the benefits of what I'm doing now it's way much better for me. So yeah. My education is, I have a certificate in human services at the New Brunswick Community College, NBCC. It was a 1-year program. And during my time at NBCC, it was the first year that Shannex was accepting students of the human services as the PSW course. Since we were touching base on a lot of the care within our course. So I jumped in on the opportunity and got a position here. During my time as a PSW, I would spend a lot of my time, my free time, my days off, helping out and volunteering with the activity coordinator that we had, planning activities and just coming in and spending time with residents. Even during my maternity leave and parental leave, I would still come in, volunteer, even after I gave birth, I would still come in on my days off, just spend time with the residents. And then when the position opened up for activities, jumped in. My manager supported me, and I got the job, and I've been loving it since. And our residents been loving it too. We're coming in with fun activities. And I'm always eager to learn new things. So anytime I see a new course online or any how could I say that? Any fun activities that, oh, maybe I need a course for it, I will bring it up to my manager and she'll look into like yes or no. And I was able to do a couple of conference online courses to help out, and I'm always looking out for new activities, new ways I can integrate to my residents. So a little bit an idea of what the day of an activity coordinator is. It's different in every day. I don't have a fixed schedule. I make my schedule. So I have to come in at 8 a.m. Monday to Friday, and then I plan how my activities are going to be. So every day is a new adventure. I have to make sure my residents are happy and entertained. So I have to plan at least 2 or 3 activities a day for the residents. But I also have to have the activity of the day, plan my activity for next month. On top of that, we have to make our newsletter so families do get to see pictures and keep informed with what the residents are doing during the day. We also have to do care conference every week, see what are some issues that we have with certain residents and how can we fix them. We have family meetings every week, talking about how within a year, how did certain residents change and all of that. I also we have pets in our nursing home. In our building, we have 3 betta fish, so I am also in charge of cleaning up the tank, making sure it's clean, they're fed, everyone's happy. I also have to do some shopping for any upcoming activities that we have. And I have to make admissions of activities. So when we get a new residence, what are their interests? What do they like? So you are busy all the time, but it beats not doing anything. So yeah. So if you're looking for your days to play games, be surrounded by amazing peoples, make a difference in lives of certain residents, activity coordinator is really fun. It's engaging, and you get to make amazing connections with everyone. Some of them even becomes like as close as families. So yeah.
Awesome, Alex. Thank you so much. And I see that there's some teachers that have signed in. In the chat, teachers, I've asked that you put your school, the number of students that are with you, and the grade level. And I am going to ask Alex to share 2 of the activities that she's planning this week, or one of them she's just finishing up. And then also a pretty big event that she's planning at the end of the week so that you can learn about what her job actually entails. So you spoke about planning the activities. So can you speak about the project that you're just finishing up and then the activity that's planned for Friday?
So What we do is I have a lot of residents that love puzzles that like to tinker. I have some residents that um, used to be carpenters, worked a lot with their hands. Being creative and everything, we ended up making a book nook. So this is what the residents just finished this week, which is our little book nook that they got to build themselves.
Can you bring it a little bit
With a little
closer
bit,
to the screen? Can you bring it a little bit
yeah.
closer? Yeah, and turn the
Oh,
light on like you had before. It's so cool. Neat.
yeah. So this is our second one that we built in the last 2 years. So, and it's something the residents did it. They do, and they're very proud of their projects. But that's one thing they do like is being it's puzzling, and that works with multiple of their things. Our next activity we're doing this Friday is we are having a couple that is celebrating their 50th wedding anniversary. So we're trying to make it special for them. I went and we're working on getting some flowers, some cute little flowers. I have the cleaning crew and kitchen crew getting us a nice tablecloth. We're gonna see if we can get a nice treat from them from the kitchen. We're gonna get the nursing staff to make sure that they're all dressed nicely, and to bring them separate away from the dining room so they get this little cute environment just for them. We're gonna get some sparkly juice to make it make it feel like champagne and everything. And we're gonna take some pictures to send to their families.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for sharing the examples of activities. And earlier we were talking about your career pathway and how you were a PSW and then you switched to the activity coordinator, and it really did help with being a mother to your young kids and what that looks like. And really having the eyes of both roles is so interesting, I'm sure, to the students, but to me as well. And you spoke about the connections that you make in the home and how the residents have really become, 64 grandparents of your kids. And I think that's something that's really important for our students to understand that if you're going into this role, and I've spent a lot of time in long-term care homes in the last few years, you're really going into this role because you love to be around people, you love to interact and have fun and plan activities, but really you love to be part of a family, because when you go into the homes, you really are going into their personal, their personal space. It's like when someone would come to your home, you want them to feel welcome and you want it to be a happy place. So um, I am going to open up the floor. We have KV here, the Healthcare 11-0, grades 10 to 12, 29 students. Welcome. I also see that one of my favorite guidance counselors on, Miss Kraft, is here. And if anybody has a question out there, you can certainly raise your hand or just type the questions in the chat. And we'll just leave that open for a minute and see if anybody has any questions. You're more than welcome to come on the camera and ask the question as well to Alex. Prior to the session, she was answering all kinds of my questions, so I'm sure there must be questions out there. And if not, or while we're waiting, if someone's typing in, how long have you been actually working at the home? You said you've been there for about 7 years?
Yep, 7 years. So I started off as the PSW, doing some 8-hour shifts. Then I switched up to 12-hour shift. And then I went on mat leave and came back and joined in for activities.
Excellent. Okay. Miss Kraft, there you are. How are you? Oh, you're on mute.
I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing great.
Awesome.
Welcome.
Well, thank you. I have a couple students here with me who were very interested, but I have a question about Alex. You know, you said you were there for 7 years, so you were pre and post COVID. So I'm
Yeah.
sure that brought a whole bunch of challenges. Um, how's it changed in the world of recreation for your population? Have you kept things different, or do you find that people are kind of getting back to pre-COVID activities?
Um, when I started activity coordinator, we were right in COVID. So that did change because we could not have, I could not mix my floors. I have 2 floors of 32 residents, so I couldn't mix them together. And they weren't allowed to have family come in for a visit. So it had to be a lot of FaceTime. Since COVID, we're getting back to normal. The only thing we're pretty much back to pre-COVID. The only thing that I noticed that we're down is volunteers. We used to have a lot of volunteers, and now I have one.
Wow.
And that's it.
That's a really interesting comment. So is that something that our young people could I know you can only speak for your institution, but should our young people be looking out at facilities in our city? Do you think that they welcome younger people for volunteers?
Oh yeah. I know we have with my facility, I already did like co-op twice with some students. We do accept younger uh younger kids to come over. I know there is some. I know in Fredericton there's one nursing home that they do have a younger volunteer group, which is more focused for kids around 12 and younger to bring in. So, and really, a lot of our residents love having kids from all ages.
Absolutely.
Like I
Yes.
said, I had a resident that she had kid, but her kids never talked to her, never came, never visited. She never had the whole time she was with us, she never had any visits. So the staff, the volunteers became her family.
So if just
Thanks,
as that's a great question, Jennifer. And I would, if there are young people that are listening to this and think that they would like to volunteer, I would suspect you would just go to the home that's near you, and speak to somebody there and see if there is opportunity. And I do know that having young people in the homes really does bring energy to the residents, but also gives you energy. And it's also a great way to gain experience, which Miss Craft I probably is alluding to, is that getting that experience and being in a home and seeing if that's the environment that you enjoy is so important for us as we're trying to figure out what our career pathway will look like. So I certainly highly recommend, looking out for a long-term care home in your vicinity. And we have all kinds of them. So if you're looking for one, certainly feel free to reach out to me, and I can help you find one in your local area. Thank you. Any other questions out there? And if not, oh, go ahead.
What's also fun is that when you do get to meet residents, you get to learn their life stories. I have some from all kind of backgrounds, all kind of different careers. I had one we brought to the museum, and they got to tell us about like, oh, this is how it used to be, like how Moncton used to be before. Like we gave a piece of our shop to the museum when we got to see it over there. We get to hear about their different beliefs, different cultures. So it's very fun.
Thank you. I'm not sure why our screen has gone a little bit astray. Miss Craft, that might be you sharing your screen. I'm not sure. But I'm just putting the post-activity assessment in our chat. Alex, I want to say thank you so much from the Center of Excellence for Health. Really exciting to have you and really appreciate you taking time out of your busy activity schedule. I think the wedding on Friday is going to be amazing. Wish I could come visit and be in Moncton. But also I want to thank Shannex just for being part of Long-Term Care Week. We really appreciate the work that goes into creating a presentation, but also the time away from your residents. So we should say thank you to the residents as well. So I am going to sign off. Make sure that you go take a visit at a long-term care home. If this is something that you're interested in, certainly feel free to reach out to me at the Center of Excellence for Health. And your teacher can give you my address if you're looking for information about how you can visit a long-term care home. We like to have residents have visits from students all the time. I was in a home last week and it brought so much joy to my heart and also to the residents' hearts. So Alex, thank you so much. We have another session that's going to be live this afternoon at 1:30 and we have sessions all week. So if you're interested, take a look at the website and all of the team links are there. So without further ado, I'm going to sign off. Thank you so much from the Center of Excellence for Health. Make sure you take time to explore your area and have a drop in at a long-term care home. Have a great day, everybody.
Bye.